Police confirm an assassination attempt on Paul Mashatile's life. Hundreds of patients affected after yet another devastating fire at Tembisa Hospital. And was Pope Francis the most abused pope in modern history? Hello, I'm Jane Dutton, coming to you from a very wet Gauteng. This province, along with the Free State, North West and Eastern Cape, are all facing severe thunderstorms. We could even see snowfall on the Drakensberg as cold weather hits the country.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
3 days after the news broke of an assassination attempt on Deputy President Paul Mashatile's life, the African National Congress has finally weighed in on the matter, calling for calm and space for police to investigate. On Tuesday, police confirmed they were probing a shooting incident involving Mashatile's convoy. They were attacked in March, shortly after the Deputy President left an ANC National Executive Committee meeting in Boksburg.
We were taken aback about these reports because neither the Deputy President or any in government informed the ANC about this situation. When everyone else wants to define it in a particular way, it becomes a cause for concern for the ANC because we don't know what happened. We don't know where this happened, how it happened.
Security will be increased for Mashatile and the President.
Following the incident, an extensive investigation was conducted and still underway, with the ballistics report already concluded. Crime intelligence is also continuing with its regular risk and threat assessment on both the President and the Deputy President. General Fani Masemola confirms the reinforcement of security detail to both principals and has also expressed gratitude with the manner in which members of the PPS safeguard and handle the safety of both principals.
The Kureleni Emergency Services say an unknown number of patient files have been destroyed in this morning's fire at Tembisa Hospital, further compounding the health facility's operational challenges. Today's blaze broke out in the outpatient unit. It mirrors Saturday night's fire that gutted the emergency department. Firefighters have since extinguished the blaze and are now dampening the files in an attempt to salvage what they can. Large sections of the hospital are closed and patients in need are being redirected. 77-year-old Alfred Maseka, who suffered a stroke on Friday, says the experience has been nothing short of a nightmare.
Well, I was admitted on Friday, but I came yesterday, no help. Monday, no help. Sunday, no help. They said certain sections of the hospital are operational, but we don't see that.
Because of the reality of what has happened, some services have to be tampered with. So at this stage, this hospital is not in a position to take emergencies. So the services which are now completely diverted, it's emergency services. So ambulance services, our emergency ambulances, are being diverted to other neighboring hospitals.
Cardinal Stephen Brislin has described the Pope as the most abused Pope in the modern era. The former 266th leader of the Roman Catholic Church sparked both admiration and controversy. While he was lauded by many as a reformer and for pushing the church in a more progressive direction for addressing issues such as climate change, LGBTQI+, inclusion and economic inequality, some conservative voices within the church accused the Pope of straying from traditional Catholic doctrine. Francis died on Monday at the age of 88 after suffering a stroke. In remembrance of the Catholic leader, the Cathedral of Christ the King held a memorial mass service in Johannesburg.
In churches from Buenos Aires, the towering spires of St. Peter's, and cathedrals in South Africa, the mood is one of stunned silence and grief. We're in the heart of Johannesburg, where the city's rhythm usually pulses with urgency, but today, a stillness has fallen over the Cathedral of Christ the King. Several believers filled the sacred space, while hymns echo beyond the chambers of the church. Fondly known as the People's Pope, Pope Francis has been hailed as a humble leader who put mercy at the center of all his teachings. Cardinals hope that his message of advancing social justice and championing the cause of the poor will resonate with leaders across the globe and here in South Africa. Zoleka Kotashe, Eyewitness News, Cathedral of Christ the King in Johannesburg.
Italy is preparing for a major security operation for the funeral on Saturday. Inflation has eased for the first time in 5 months. It's down to 2.7% in March from 3.2% the previous month.
In March, the fuel index softened by 0.4% from February, taking the annual rate from a negative 3.6% to a negative 8.8%.
Kelly says lower than expected increases in education fees, surveyed once a year in March, also helped inflation to change at a slower rate. Kelly Smith, the mother of missing Jocelyn Smith, broke down in tears today when a video of her children was shown in court. The state presented the court with social media evidence relating to Jocelyn's disappearance. Smith and her co-accused, Jacqueline Apollos and Stefano van Rijn, are charged with kidnapping and human trafficking in the Western Cape High Court.
Earlier today, lawyers for Kelly Smith and Stefano van Rijn sought to have the kidnapping and human trafficking charges against their clients withdrawn. Defence attorneys filed Section 174 applications for the court to withdraw the state's case against the two accused. Accused number 1, Jacqueline Apollos, opted not to make the application. After hearing arguments from the defence, prosecutor Zalda Swanepoel argued for the state.
The test is whether there is evidence that a reasonable court, acting with caution, could convict. And my submission is there is. There's sufficient evidence to, in fact, say that a court can come to that conclusion.
After Judge Nathan Erasmus ruled that the applications are dismissed, all of the accused opted not to testify in the trial. Defence attorneys indicated they will not be calling any witnesses to testify for the accused. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News, Saldanha Bay.
To Turkey, an earthquake has hit Istanbul at a magnitude of 6.2. It's one of the strongest to ever hit the city. Many residents have evacuated their homes. In South Africa, the father of the man accused of murdering Santon teacher Kirsten Clates believes his son is innocent. Bafana Mahongela appeared in the Joburg High Court this morning, facing charges of murder and robbery with aggravating circumstances. The varsity college student was arrested in November 2023, being linked to the murder of Clates, whose body was found in George Lear Park in Parkmore a month earlier. The Delta Park High teacher was pregnant at the time.
Even the DNA states very clear that the person who was in contact with the disease is someone whom is a foreign woman, whom is unknown.
This despite police previously providing CCTV footage on the day of Clates' murder, showing Mahongela's son, Bafana Jr., wearing Clates' blue T-shirt and leaving George Lear Park in Parkmore. The Electoral Commission says there is a possibility that the next local government elections will only be held in 2027 and not 2026 as widely expected. The municipal council term in South Africa lasts for 5 years. By law, the local government elections must be held within 90 days after that term ends.
The elections of the current municipal councils were held on the 1st of November 2021. Therefore, on that reckoning, the elections must be held between 2nd November 2026 and 30 January 2027.
4 prison warders have been arrested in connection with the murder of an inmate at the Mangaung Correctional Facility in the Free State. Mpho Mkombeni died early last month following an unauthorized raid of his cell in the prison. It's understood he was pepper sprayed and beaten the night before, passing on the next day. It's alleged that a member of the dedicated search team accused Mkombeni and his cellmates of stealing 800 rand from his bag, which he forgot in the cell following the raid. Last week, EWN reported that 7 prison officials at the controversial privately run G4S prison were suspended. Despite initial reports that Nkombeni's death was as a result of natural causes, an autopsy has now revealed otherwise.
An inquest docket was opened for further investigations. However, subsequent to post-mortem results, which indicated that the deceased died due to unnatural causes, these findings led investigators to change the inquest docket to a murder investigation. Further investigation by Bloomsbury Police resulted in the arrest of 4 warders aged between 34 and 50 for alleged murder of an inmate.
Indian security forces in Kashmir have been carrying out a major manhunt a day after gunmen opened fire on tourists. They slaughtered at least 26 people in the region's deadliest attack on civilians since 2000. Security sources say gunmen burst out of forests at a popular tourist spot and raked crowds of visitors with automatic gunfire. No group has claimed responsibility, but rebels in the Muslim-majority region have waged an insurgency since 1989. And we're going to leave you with that. We'll see you for more again tomorrow.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.